life be lifing up here in these Rona streets. 2024, just, I don't know. Just don't know. Please excuse me eating. I'm doing Culver's today. I'm on the Odyssey here with my car. A few days ago, we had a little bit of a cold snap up here, and the tire pressure light came on, and I'm thinking, okay, well, it was a little cold snap. It was probably the weather, caused it to go off. So I just said, okay, well, I'm just gonna have to top the air off in the tires and stuff like that. So I go to put air in the tires, and I got to my front driver's side tire. I put the air in, and I went to screw the cap back on, and the tire stem or something, whatever that's called, it snapped off. And when it snapped off, of course, all of the air came back out of the tire again. The stuff air I put in, plus all the air that was already in there. So what ended up happening with that is I was just getting off from work. I didn't have anybody to call or anything like that, and I needed to get home that day from work. I had something going on, so I super glued the thing in place, refilled the tire with air, and then I got some rescue tape and wrapped it all off with the rescue tape to hold it, and that was enough to hold the air and stuff in the tire. But I didn't know, for how long, because at that point, even though I had enough air in the tire at the time, I knew that if the air ran out on the tire again, I wouldn't be able to refill it again, because I had super glued the metal part together, plus I wrapped it up in rescue tape. So I went to this tire place that I am nearby where I live, and explained to them what happened. And I told the lady that I was actually planning on getting tires this week anyway, because it's fall going into winter now, and the two front ones, just the treads and stuff looked a little on the low side. So I was planning on getting those replaced anyway, and so she priced me 2 tires for $90, and she told me that they didn't sell the tire sensors, because she said that was what I was gonna need to have that replaced. And she said they didn't have the tire sensors, but they could put the sensors on, but she said I had to make sure that the sensor was programmed. Well, I don't know anything about that, and I knew I could go to any auto parts store and get a sensor, but how would I know that it was actually programmed? That I wouldn't know. So I decided not to. I decided that I did not want to run around and waste a lot of time. So I went to an auto shop, took the car there, and to get the sensor. And then I told the lady at the tire place that I would come back the next day and have them put the tires on. So I go to the auto shop. They had the tire sensor or whatever there for my car. So they said they had to make an appointment for me to come back because they were booked that day. So I went back, and they were supposed to put the sensor on. So I get there, I'm waiting on them to do the sensor. They come back and told me that my front tires were in bad shape. I already knew that. And I said, yeah, I said, I'm not getting tires today. I just wanted to get the sensor because I didn't want to go and get the tires and they would have to take all of that stuff off, and then the air would come out of the tire, so that wouldn't make sense. So I told him that's why I'm here for the sensor. So the guy said, well, we can't put the sensor on because the tires are in such bad shape. It would just tear the tires up. So I said, okay. And they said, well, we're doing a special on the tires and this and that, and yeah, for $1,100 I can get tires, but I was already quoted two for $90. Plus I didn't have the $1,100 anyway to give them. 2024 has been a terrible year for me. So I told him, I said, look, I'm just really strapped for cash. So what he decided to do was sell me the sensor. He said, well, we'll program it and everything. So they sold me the sensor so I could take it back to where I was quoted the two for $90, right? So I go back and I told the lady that, I was back for the tires, but I was also going to need them to put the sensor on. Also. And she goes, oh, I don't know if we got, no, she didn't say I didn't know. She went back, she said, oh, let me go get the tires. That was how she did it. She went back in the back, and she was to get the tires to give to the guy to put on. And he goes, oh, well, we don't have that. We don't have these tires in stock. And I'm like, when I talked to her the other day, because I'm thinking to myself, why would she be quoting prices and stuff if they, didn't have a tire? So then it was, what I didn't like was then she went, oh, well, maybe I'll call the guy and see if maybe he can find tires for you today. And I'm looking at her like I'm up here with this one tire that's glued, super glued and super taped and everything else. And I'm like, I don't know how long this tire is going to hold. I don't know how long the air is going to stay in that tire. So, and she was like, well, maybe today or tomorrow or next week we'll get you a tire. And I thought to myself, you know what? What we not going to do just had my behind hanging out with a flat tire that I wouldn't be able to refill. So I had to get on the phone, and I found another place. They actually had one tire in my size end. So she said, well, she said, normally we like to replace the, at least the 2 tires, but since, we don't know how long this tire is going to hold, we'll simply replace this one. I'll order more tires, and you'll come back tomorrow and we'll put the other tire on. I was like, yes, because this lady actually understood the assignment. I'm like, she said, well, I'm scared for you, because she said, yeah, because you could come out of work and have a totally flat tire, and then what you gonna do? I was like, exactly. So I went down there, and they changed the tire, put the new sensor on. So I have to go back in the morning to get the other tire put on, because she said that the other tire will be in like in the late morning or the early part of the afternoon. So I'll have the tires replaced. And I tell you what, I mean, life just be lifing, and we just have to do the best we can out here with these folks, with these vehicles, and try to stay housed and everything else out here these days. It's a mess. So, yeah. Well, I appreciate y'all sitting and listening to me and watching me eat my Culvers. And I'll be back with more. Life is lifing. All right. Bye for now.